Just a few weeks away from the postseason in women's college volleyball. Today, for the 8th-ranked Stanford Cardinal, an opportunity to clinch a share of their 20th Pac-12 crown. Will take on the Arizona Wildcats, an upset-minded group, as we welcome you inside Maples Pavilion. Greg Meskel here with you for the Pac-12 Network. For the Stanford Cardinal, they have continued to be one of the hottest teams in the country. Winners of 15 in a row, coming into today at 21-4 overall. They are powered by some of the most elite athletes in the country when you're talking about women's college volleyball. We start first with one of their newest players, Elia Rubin. The freshman has lived up to the hype. She has been part of a formidable 1-2 punch at that outside hitter spot alongside Kendall Kipp. And look at her stats, 18 kills in the win over Arizona State alongside 12 digs. She is good for more than 3 kills a set. That's tough stuff for the opposition. Now across the way for Arizona, Dave Rubio's team brought back much of last year's roster. It hasn't translated into wins, but Sofia Maldonado-Diaz has the potential to be the very best player on the court. They're looking for more consistency out of the Mexican national teamer. She'll see if she can be at her very best as Arizona tries to halt Stanford's march to a Pac-12 title. We'll get you set with the first serve after these messages right here on the Pac-12 Network. And Stanford, let's talk coaches. And for the Cardinal, Kevin Hambley in his 6th season here on the farm and has led this group to a couple of national titles, trying to get back there again as they battle through the COVID postponements. They are now fully up and running and ready to go. Across the way, Dave Rubio knows this league inside and out. 31st season leading Arizona, and you see his record closing in on some 600 wins in the Pac-12 and well over that in his overall career. Leading the Arizona Wildcats, a team that is 15-13 on the year, 5-12 in the Pac-12. Now, despite that record, Rubio says they're much improved from a year ago, and they've started to find some things here late in the season, just going to be a little bit too late to try and qualify for the postseason as we are underway with Arizona to get us started here on first serve. Stanford will go right to work with Kendall Kipp out of the back row. And the Wildcats now will get their first chance to put something in system. Miner now working out to Katie Baird. Block there. And now Ogilvy. Baird will try it again on the tip. Wildcats ready. Back row of their own. Miner hunts that down on the Maldonado-Diaz try. Good rally to start things off. A block. Do it again to the outside. And that's there for Arizona and Jalen Hodge. So good back and forth right out of the gate. And Jalen Hodge comes up with the kill. We talked about Maldonado-Diaz, Hodge, Herman, Ziana Fellows, Dilara Gedicola, and Elena Johnson, the starting group for this Wildcat team. Miner now, back set. Vicini, a blast, and they won't catch up. Off a beautiful dish from Cami Miner. And McKenna Vicini able to deliver with the right hand. Miner, Vicini, Kendall Kipp, Elia Rubin, Annabelle Smith, Elena Ogilvy, and Katie Baird, the group for Kevin Hambley, as Miner now will serve even at 1 here in the first. That was a tough one to handle. We'll have to just put this across from the back row. Now Miner, beautiful one-touch, Vicini. That was all set up by Cami Miner, finding the middle, McKenna Vicini. These two work so well in close proximity. That's pretty stuff. Just one touch to Vicini for the kill. It's a 2-1 lead for Stanford. Now Hodge winds up, and Ogilvy takes all of it. Over to Kipp. Overpass. In front, rolls off the tape on the Baird try. Off balance, Maldonado-Diaz, and now Stanford goes to work. Back row, Rubin. And the deflection sends that into the scorer's table. Too hot to handle. It's 3-1 Stanford. Cardinal coming off the win over Arizona State here Thursday night, 3-1. They have a 4-game homestand to close out the regular year, as Miner will look to keep it going. Hodge has to time her steps, gets into it, and now Baird. Good dig. Diapo controlling. Hodge, Ogilvy keeps that alive. It seemed destined to fall in for a point. And now the soft touch. Minor out of nowhere to keep it going. Setter dump is in with the left. Emery Herman. Well, that was after Stanford hustled to keep it going, and Cammy Minor couldn't get there in time as Emery Herman, the junior, taking advantage. And now serving. Quick set here. Almost was off the mark for Vicini. Was able to get enough of it. Hodge is denied, but works the block well. Out of play. And we're even at 3. Couple in a row now for Arizona. Wildcats are coming off a battle in Berkeley. They defeated the Cal Bears 3-2. Cal winless in Pac-12 play, but they are pushing everyone to the limits as of late. That was mistimed and an easy put away for Arizona. An overpass there, and Kip found herself at the net with no ball to work with. Easy put away. Arizona in front now, 4-3. Ogilvy, back set Baird. Diapo with the hustle. Sky high, a meeting at the net, and an easy put away for Katie Baird. Katie Baird will take on the serve, ties this at 4. Baird, the junior from Indianapolis. We talk about the big outside hitters on this group. Baird, an important piece. Of course, Rubin. You know about Kip's offense. There's defense. That one right into the block, and Stanford waiting. Second look here. Maldonado Diaz is going to go up and find herself met by Vicini. 5-4 Stanford. That's too long. But this is what Kevin Hambly wants Stanford to serve aggressively, and with that comes the occasional service error. But they'll take it. As it is their serving that can often cause teams so many problems. Minor, now Kip. Hammers that off the block, the point to Stanford. Stanford's strength has been serving. Rubio talked about one of Arizona's struggles being serve-receive. So often falls back to the fundamentals, and that's a dangerous combo here for Arizona on the road, as Elena Ogilvy now will get her opportunity to serve as we are just getting started here in the first. A little off balance. One touch up front. And now a long set, and the Arizona defense stoic, in close. This was a long set across the way to Rubin. It gave all kinds of time for that Arizona defense to get in there and get prepared. Ziona Fellows, the fifth-year middle out of Seattle, Washington. They are thrilled she decided to come back for another year and makes the stop. This one, a little bit easier. Minor to Rubin. That's the timing they're looking for, and Rubin crushes it down the line. 7-6 Stanford. And we're going to have the officials check with the scores table here. And Arizona will challenge that last play. Likely was that in on the Rubin attack. So they will review that most recent play as it currently stands. The point for Elia Rubin. Stanford in front 7-6. Well, let's take a look back. Minor to Rubin. Down the line. And currently ruled this will be the telltale angle, we think. Not hard to say. Just out of the picture. So officials taking a closer look at all the available angles. Slowed down. Probably difficult to be conclusive from that angle. Looks to bounce in. Well, let's see what the officials say. And they do confirm the call. So as stands is their ruling. Elia Rubin able to find the spot down the line. 7-6 Stanford. And so that's a challenge lost for Dave Rubio. Remember, each coach will get 2 of those. You use it and you're correct, you keep it. You use it and you're wrong, you lose it. If we go 5, each side will get another challenge. And to make sure the 5th set always stays a little dramatic, no more than 2 challenges in that 5th. Baird. Good placement, but Arizona was ready, only to have Rubin strike back quickly. Excellent hustle from Jalen Hodge. Check out Hodge laying out to keep this one alive, but all that did was set up easy money for Elia Rubin and give Stanford the 8-6 lead. Hip is just long. And they'll give a point back to Arizona. This Wildcat team 5-12 in conference play. Which Rubio talked about their non-conference schedule. In hindsight, not as strong as it needed to be. They performed very well. Came out of the gate strong as Kip is denied. Second effort pushed back. Stanford will keep it going. Kip will push that across, and Wildcats will go to work. And that's off the block and good to go for Elena Johnson. Sophomore's been a real bright spot for Arizona this year, but this Wildcats team, they start off so strong through that non-conference slate. They beat some teams from some other Power 5 conferences, but Rubio feeling like it wasn't strong enough to really understand what things they needed to shore up, and that quickly got exposed in Pac-12 play as Rubin goes cross-court. So Arizona starts the Pac-12 schedule. They host Arizona State. They lose 3-1, and that kind of started a downward slide there as they got into the Pac-12 slate where they lost 6 of 7 to start. Good look there, and that's a kill. Buck Stubba has come on and gets the opportunity. And now she will take a breather. You'll see that a lot. Stubba and Giddy Cola going in and out for each other. Stubba had started earlier in the year. Giddy Cola then getting an opportunity to crack that rotation. Minor up high to Baird, and she cleans it up. Katie Baird takes something that the defense was ready for up front and just blasts it off the back row and away. 10-9 Stanford. Seesaw battle to start here in the first. Kelly Bellardi on to serve. It's been primarily a serving specialist for Stanford this season. Here's a nice look. One-touch tip. Bellardi's there. Minor. And we'll get a violation. So that was Johnson into the net. And just eager to try and put this one away, and got too much hand on it. As Minor dug that out, kept it alive. Here's Johnson now. That's clean. And some immediate redemption for Elena Johnson. They wanted her to be more assertive and seeing it there, and all part of the development. Plays like that, the touch on the net, you'd imagine that'll go away in years to come. And so here's Hiapo to serve. Minor tried to put it over real quick. Front row was ready there with Arizona's defense. Finding that back corner, and they'll say no, too long. Line judge right there, ruling that Hodge attack is long. Minor serving, Stanford ahead, 12-10, first set action. That's Fellows with the soft touch. Now Kipp turned back. Cardinal will go again. Good back and forth here. Running out of options. Arizona's hustle paying off. Minor now to Kipp. Stuffed. Arizona right there. Hodge, Fellows closing the door. And that was all Hodge. The junior from Arizona. One of the highest rated recruits they've gotten there in some time, and able to halt that attack. And now back row, Ogilvy in that mix for the best libero in this conference. Herman, Vicini saw it. Now Kipp. A collision there. We play on. Everyone back on their feet. Vicini stuffed. Fellows this time. Back-to-back defensive efforts from Arizona. And Zion Fellows right there to even things at 12. And Herman to serve. Kipp. Kendall Kipp with the kill. 13-12 Stanford. Kipp talked yesterday about this Stanford team. They cannot get complacent. Yes, they've won 15 in a row, closing in on the NCAA tourney. But have to continue to play at the level that they've played. I didn't like the third set effort Thursday against Arizona State where they faltered. Maldonado Diaz. Arizona looking for a touch. A little consultation here amongst the officials, and ruling it was last touch Stanford. So the point to Arizona. Officials in this one, referee Landry Hampshire and Daphne Nelson. Landry up top. The line judges Elizabeth Wersch and Tyrone Taloy. Ruth Verbal, the observer. Elia Rubin with the kill. Timeout called. We will step aside. Stanford in front, 15-12 early. Arizona had a great battle with Cal last time out. Dave Rubio said, look, for two teams that are out of the postseason, it's a testament to the players and the staffs, how hard they're trying. And you're seeing it again here from Arizona, right? They know the postseason is not in play for their squad. They know where Stanford's at, but not giving up on any of these plays, just nonstop hustle. A near collision there, and they kept this rally moving forward. It was capped off by Zion Fellows with the kill up front, and that's the type of energy and intensity this team has brought, and it's really started for Arizona in practice, where they have developed, Coach Rubio refers to as the competitive cauldron to try and determine their starting lineup. You're going to earn your spot with how you perform in practice. As Stanford long on the serve try, make it 15-13. And so the way it works for Arizona in a given week, based off how practice goes, that confirms your spot for the first match in a weekend series. And then based off that first match, then the coaching staff will make a selection for the second. But it's really opened some opportunities for some players to get additional time, as Anna Heath has come on now to serve. And Kipp will get a chance. That was a rocket off of Jalen Hodge in that back row. Kendall Kipp adds another. Stanford up 16-13. Kipp with 4 kills so far. Rubin with 5 for the Cardinal. Kipp to serve. Maldonado Diaz, a violation. And will go against Stanford. And that was all set up by an excellent pass to Maldonado Diaz coming out of that back row on the attack. All Pac-12 performer. Now in her junior season. Minor with the dump. Cami Minor. Quickly delivering with the left and always looking for those opportunities. Ogilvy hunts that down on the stub a try. More Maldonado Diaz. Kip, overpass. Arizona can go to work. Johnson blocked initially. More Minor. This time finding Annabelle Smith. Beautiful pass from Minor. And the first to celebrate it as well. Annabelle Smith, of course, getting that extended playing time with Sammy Francis still out for the Stanford team. Her return unknown at the moment. Maldonado Diaz just pushes that across. Kip was a little off balance, almost paid off. They'll go back to Maldonado Diaz, dug out again. Minor with the ups. Who was stronger at the net? It was Cami Minor and the Stanford Cardinal. Arizona will take a timeout. Stanford started to take control in this first set, ahead 19-14. We will take a timeout as well as the Cardinal try to close out this opening frame. For the season sweep here against Arizona, picked up the win in Tucson earlier this year. Kendall Kip, a blur to dig that one out, but then not there in time on the quick dump across the net. And Arizona adds another. 19-15, they trail now. Getty-Cola on. Transfer from Tulsa. And she is long there. And Bellardi returns. And that is just wide as Bellardi tries for some accuracy down the line. Gives the point back to Arizona, 20-16. Kamali Hiapo, the libero, on to serve. She's had an up and down campaign here in 2022. Minor again taking full advantage. And that is all set up by her excellent passing. Because the defense has to respect the potential for her to set up all of her teammates, opens some doors for her to also look to score. Here's back row. And that's pretty stuff from Arizona. Maldonado Diaz. That was from Herman, coming from the middle back. And now Herman to serve. That's an overpass, and Arizona looks to take advantage, and they are stuffed. Kendall Kip there defensively. 22-17. And Katie Baird to serve. 22-17. Stanford just 3 away here in the first. Very close to an ace. Arizona cleans it up to get it across. And Rubin, another laser beam off that back row of Arizona. Elia Rubin now 6 kills to lead Stanford. Arizona will take their final timeout in this first set. Stanford in front 23-17, looking to close it out 2 away from a first set win when we come back. Talked about Ruben. There's times she doesn't seem like a freshman, and just really complimented her volleyball IQ and how well she plays the game. As Baird serving here, 23-17. Good look for Fellows and stuffed up front. Maldonado Diaz off target, and that will bring up set point here in the first. 24-17. They're on their feet, Maples. Cardinal looking to close it out against Arizona here in set number 1. This is a problem, and that's all for the first. Baird sends the Wildcats scattered all over the court to try and control that serve. They can't get to it, and the Cardinal 25-17, a statement here in the first. Second set action when we return to the farm. Going just purely off of and welcome back to Maples and Elia Rubin with a strong first set, 6 kills. It's a 2-woman conversation for Pac-12 Rookie of the Year, Rubin and Oregon's Mimi Collier. If you're going just purely on who's won the weekly honor, well, Collier is ahead. Her offensive stats, she has a higher output than Rubin, but 2 tremendously gifted athletes, and they have really stolen the show when you talk about freshmen here in the Pac-12 and both of their squads with eyes on the postseason. There's a look at Rubin from Southern California, part of a stellar Marymount squad that won the national title at the high school level. Kelly Velarde, fellow freshman, also part of that Marymount team. And both playing a role here. Right on cue, look at that. They high five, just like we drew it up. And Stanford, thankful to have the duo here as they try and pick up the second set. 25-17 in the first. Stanford at 77% on side out in that first set, just 54% for Arizona. That's pretty stuff from Elena Johnson. They get Johnson on the run, and she is able to hammer that down, the sophomore from Thomas Worthington in Ohio. Wildcats were there for a large chunk of the first set, good back and forth, and then once we got into the high teens, Stanford took control. Baird denied. Minor. Hodge now. Here's Minor, back to Baird. They can't get there. Piapo a long run, and how about the hustle from Stanford? That initial flurry from Arizona, you think there'll be a point there. Something's going to drop in, and Cardinal just won't have it. Tammy Minor so often at the center of all of these plays. It's not a stat, but how often does she turn nothing into something? And that ends up getting across, and Stanford gets the point, and now here we go, 1-1. Maldonado Diaz takes a circuitous route to that ball. Now Baird. Piapo with the dig. Eddie Cola will try and set this up for Hodge. Ogilvy ready on the back row. The soft touch from Vicini. Arizona ready. The back row. Rubin, last touch. Arizona. Block up front. That was Emery Herman looking to pitch in there defensively. Overpass, and Vicini with the right. Kevin Hambley talked this week about the premise of championship-type behaviors. They know the expectations here at Stanford and what they're trying to do as a group, and said regardless of the records, and they certainly know what ASU brought on Thursday, when Arizona brings today, you have to treat everyone like it's the first round of the NCAA tourney. Show everyone that same level of respect. Vicini, another. McKenna and Vicini, 10 kills, 3 blocks on Thursday evening. And again, Miner and Vicini, they are in a groove right now, working so well together. 4-1 Stanford. Vicini 4 kills so far today. Miner, the facilitator, 16 assists. She's added 3 kills of her own. And with that, Dave Rubio will take the first time out in this second set for Arizona. We will step aside as well. Stanford up early, 4-1. We're here in the second. Second set continues. Stanford leading Arizona 4-1. Cami Miner serving. Sophomore from Redondo Beach. Picked up National Player of the Week honors earlier this season. Was the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year last year. Stanford would be looking to go back-to-back if Rubin won the honor. Miner there. Now Ogilvy. Here's Baird. You get the idea of what Baird was trying to do, just did not get enough lift on that one. That one just off the net. Tried to go away from that block as Arizona had done a nice job closing ranks. Here's Miner and Kip. Maldonado Diaz has to reach back for that one. Ogilvy out of nowhere. Vicini powers that through the block. And that's 5-2 Stanford. And that's an ace for Katie Baird. Second ace of the day. They have both come from Katie Baird. She's got 23 of those now on the year. And her play has gotten better and better as the conference slate has gone on. A little misdirect there from Arizona. And a double hit now from Stanford, so they won't get a chance to return on that effort. Talking about Baird, on the year hitting 233, but in Pac-12 play alone, up near 280. So it's really started to click here when they need her the most. Rubin will send them on a run again, and Elia Rubin has Arizona running all over Maples Pavilion to try and track down her attacks. Great angle here. And again, you have to talk about the passing. All the hitters will tell you that too. It makes their lives much easier when you have such talented passing. The block. Smith is on the scene. Annabelle Smith, as Maldonado Diaz tried to go away from Rubin, ran right into the junior from Southlake, Texas, out of Southlake Carroll High School. Getting the time here, as we mentioned, Francis out and next woman up, and Smith extended playing time. That's an ace for Ogilvy. It dances off the tape, and Arizona can't get there in time. And a big smile there, as Ogilvy knows that one worked to perfection, falling in just like she drew it up. They're not there in time. Arizona's calling for time because Stanford is on a run now. 3-0 to go in front, 9-3. We step aside and return with more after this. Three-0 run for Stanford. They're ahead now 9-3 in the second. They picked up a 3-0 win at Arizona earlier in the year, looking to do likewise here. Dave Rubio looking on and talked about his team this week and that non-conference slate and how that maybe covered up some of the things that the team needed to work on. They then started to really juggle that starting lineup, and we talked about it earlier, this competitive cauldron idea, and what that opened up was additional play opportunities. Delara Getty-Cola able to work her way in the starting lineup. Lauren Rummel, who we haven't heard much from yet today, also getting a chance, as that'll go long on the Puck Stubba try. What was surprising for Arizona, players like Stubba finished last year so strong. According to Rubio, she was their best attacker at the end of last year. Didn't translate into this 22 season throughout. She's had her moments as Haven Ray comes on. And now Ogilvy. Maldonado Diaz sends Minor into the scorer's table. And now to Rubin. Multiple blocks. Herman laying out to keep that going. Stubba puts it across. They'll try Kip now. Big block from Arizona. Rubin also off the block. Herman now. Quick set. Fellows right down Main Street. Quick set. Herman puts it up to Fellows. And that's 6-4. When she's up high, it is difficult to stop. And the Heath on with the jump serve. Maldonado Diaz. Little roll shot there. Minor's ready. Now it's Kip. Just slams that down. Saw an opening. And directed that to the floor on the other side of the net. 11-4 Stanford. Kendall Kip, 5 kills. 6 digs, hitting around .357, and now she'll serve. That's a tough serve. Smith on that back set. Arizona wasn't sure they kept it alive. They did. We play on. And now Kip out of the back row just smashes it off the block. And that back row attack, that is something that she has worked very hard on over the last couple of years. She credits some great coaching to help her become better at those types of plays. And to talk about the idea of her being a true 6 rotation player, she said she's becoming the volleyball player she's always wanted to be. As that one was too hot to handle. And that's Elena Johnson. Big swing to make it 12-5. Maldonado Diaz to serve. Rubin drops that right in, but Arizona keeps it alive. Now Kip. More of the same. Kendall Kip adds another. It was interesting, too. She talked about the idea of getting comfortable at the college volleyball level and said it probably really sunk in last year. Talking about stories with her teammates and remembering back to high school and club volleyball about how you go into a competition, as that one is last touch off Stanford, but you go into a competition and say things like, I hope I play well tomorrow. And now at the college level, especially starting last year, she feels like she's really in control of her game and knows what she'll bring each time. It's not a wish or a hope, but an understanding of how she is going to impact each and every contest. Minor's denied. Ogilvy just has to work with what's there. And now Hodge. Ogilvy watches forlornly as that one sails off her left hand and away. Make it 13-7. Stubba serving. It's Baird. Johnson tries to redirect that one to an empty space. And instead, that's what Baird does. 3 come up on the block. Look at this. 3 up, it means there might be an opening behind him. And Baird spots that. 14-7. Joy Gallus coming on, so Coach Rubio getting into that bench here, getting a lot of players' opportunities in this one. Here's Jalen Hodge. And when they can get passes like that to Jalen Hodge, he is one of the best in the Pac-12.
Back in the car, number 12, Annabelle Smith, and number 10, Kendall King.
Great placement from Hodge, but yeah, we talk about the passing, and that's where these outside hitters can really do some damage when they are set up perfectly. Easier said than done, of course. Hodge with 4 kills today as Hiapo serves. Baird again tries to duplicate that tip over the top of 3 blockers. And now it's Arizona dropping one in as Hodge sees the chance and takes it. Again, Hodge identifying Vicini, Minor coming over. Make it 14-9. So Stanford appeared to be running away with his second set, but the Wildcats climbing back. Back row kick. How do you stop that? Minor with options. Kip back row. Vicini to her right. Baird to her left. Then you look defensively if you're Arizona. That's a lot to try and read and react to in a hurry. Baird. Overpass. Baird again. Beautiful dig. Hiapo twice keeping it alive. Hodge now. And it's Kip. Stuffed. Hodge again. Minor's there. Now Baird. Stuffed. Arizona has the final word on that rally. And Dave Rubio loves it. The hustle from this squad. How about Kamaile Hiapo? Never giving up on that play. A couple of tremendous digs to keep it going. This is how it concluded. Triple trouble up front. And the block is there for Arizona. Redirect. Pancake keeping that alive, but they run out of hands to get underneath that one after Herman kept it going. Point to Stanford. 16-10. Credit Vicini with the kill. Baird off the tape. She has 2 aces already. Maldonado Diaz is blocked. Herman does enough to keep that alive, and it works for Maldonado Diaz on the kill. Great look here. Works around that block. So much talent for the junior from Guadalajara, Mexico. Dave Rubio talking this week about her need to be more consistent in practice. That will translate to her efforts in matches, but he knows there are times where she can be truly unstoppable, pointing to their effort against USC where he said she was the best player on the court. No doubt about it. Swing here again. Now Minor Here's Rubin. Denied by Maldonado Diaz, but it's out of play, and it's the point going over to Stanford, 17-11. Kevin Hambley looking on as Ogilvy serving here. Stubba loads it up. Now Kip. And similar result on the other side. It's a block that goes out of play. Stanford will take that all day. And it's more Kendall Kip. 18-11. Cardinal looking to clinch a share of the Pac-12 title this season with a win here. It would be their 20th Pac-12 crown. They have really been a model of consistency in this league, finishing the top 4 in 35 of the last 36 seasons. And that's too long from Rubin. One more Stanford note on their Pac-12 dominance. They have won 10 of the last 16 Pac-12 titles. You really take out that postponed COVID season where they struggled. Outside of that, they were 2-8 in that 2020 observed season. They have been among the best in the country. Smith. Stubba. Ogilvy's there. Smith with the redirect. Arizona goes down the line and is just out of play. Nice idea from Stubba, just couldn't put it where she wanted to. 19-12. And Kip now, 9 kills, 7 digs. Johnson halted. Minor now. Looking for Rubin. Works that block so well. These are the plays you watch and say, freshman, are you sure? Sees the defense, pushes it right into a block, earns the point. And Stanford in front 20-12. More Kip, going long. Maldonado Diaz serving here. Her squad trailing 20-13. And that's an easy put away for Annabelle Smith. 21-13. This Stanford team, 15 in a row coming into today. Their last loss, 3-0 against Oregon. It hasn't been the same since. They weren't bad before that, but they have been lights out since. They always play a tough non-conference schedule. Did it again this year. It's a great dig from Ogilvy. And it leads to Kip. Johnson holding strong up front. Stubba tries it again. Minor now looking for Baird. Soft touch. Johnson ready. Back row. Rubin. A rocket. Elia Rubin tees off. 22-13. It was interesting. They talked about that Oregon loss. That was one of the first matches they were without Sammy Francis. He said, we were kind of feeling sorry for ourselves and got away from the way we should be doing things, and they've been able to work back into form ever since. Too long on the try from Kendall Kip. The point to Arizona. Hodge returns for Arizona. Stubba, the sophomore from the Netherlands. Minor. Kip back row. Again. This time, partial block up front, but not enough. 23-14. Taylor Bevan on, Kelly Bellardi as well. Wide on the Bellardi try. So that's where we see Hambly go. Bevan, Bellardi, sometimes Kip Smith. Kip now returns, as is Ogilvy. Iapo has had some tremendous hustle plays. On to serve. 13 digs so far today, 4 assists. And Rubio noted she has had some struggles this season, but talked about no one wants to perform better than Iapo herself. Puts a lot of pressure on herself to do well. Minor with the left. And that brings up set point here in the second. 24-15. Tammy Minor caught him sleeping. And now she'll serve. Looking to close out the second. Here's an overpass. Kip denied. The point to Arizona. And we will bring up set point once again. Doesn't happen often. Overpass, and looked like Kip might try and smash that, but Emery Herman coming up and making a major play on the block. And now Herman to serve. Still set point here for the Cardinal in the second. Here's Minor up front. The block is there. Back to Kip. Try it again. Wildcats ready. Herman now. No one home. Maldonado Diaz able to close the necessary ground. And now Kip. They'll say too long. Up referee looking to see if there wasn't a touch. No touch called. Point to Arizona. Second look here. Saw some fingertips up high, but one they let go. And now set point number 3 here in the second. Still a big cushion for the Cardinal. Minor now. Here's Kip again. Iapo ready. Maldonado Diaz works that block. 3 in a row for Arizona. Make it 24-18. And Maldonado Diaz tooling the block for the point. Still on their feet here in Maples. We'll do it again. Set point in the second. 24-18 Cardinal. Minor. Baird. Herman now goes outside to Hodge, and 4 in a row for Arizona. Jalen Hodge on the kill. Wildcats putting it together. Trying to climb out of an epic hole here in the second. 24-19. Here's Vicini. A violation against Arizona, and that is how the second set ends. Arizona spirited run, but Stanford takes it 25-19. Rubin and Kip leading the way. Minor with 30 assists. They look for a sweep up next. Third set on the way. All Stanford so far, 25-19. They take it in the second, looking for the clean sweep over Arizona. In the meantime, we are closing in on the latest chapter of the big game, the 125th edition, to be precise, coming up from Berkeley, right here live on the Pac-12 Network. Take a look at our quarterback matchup and throw the records out. It's always a fun game when these two get together. Add to it, it's the 40th anniversary of the play. The band was on the field 40 years ago in that epic showdown between Stanford and Cal. We'll see what transpires in the final moments of this one. Don't miss it on the Pac-12 Network coming up today. And we've got more volleyball for you here as well. Third set coming up between Stanford and Arizona. This is where Stanford didn't close it out on Thursday night. They'll try and do it here today, looking to make it a Pac-12 title. We'll find out when we come back. Third set on the way. Third set on the way here between Arizona and Stanford. Cardinals sight set on the postseason. NCAA tourney just a few weeks away, and We know Stanford, if they win today, they'll have a share at least of the Pac-12. They will have the opportunity to win it outright with a few more matches. But here's what is ahead. Our bracket announced on November 27th. First match is December 1st. Highly likely Stanford will host right here inside Maples. And then all roads lead to Omaha. December 15th through the 17th to decide the NCAA championship. Stanford hopes to be in that conversation, as do many Pac-12 teams. A couple of weeks left in the regular season. A lot of squads trying to sharpen their resumes here. Remember, you have 32 automatic qualifiers that have conference champs, things like the Pac-12, and Pac-12 doesn't have a postseason tourney. Some conferences do. Then you have 32 at-large bids, and it's not as cut and dry as, well, who's left over in the 32 teams when you talk about the RPI, but it does help your case. As you see rankings and RPI, teams like Colorado and UCLA, they certainly feel like they have a strong case. You'd assume if everything holds, everyone from Utah on up is going to find their way in as well, but nothing's set in stone, and these teams don't want to leave it to chance, so you can be sure everyone's trying to finish strong as we close out the regular year here in the Pac-12. Underway now in our third set. And Stanford right back in business with Katie Baird on the cross-court kill.
Now serving number 2,
Cami Minor. Stellar day. 4 kills, 31 assists, 10 digs. Johnson meets the block up front. They work to Kip. And Maldonado Diaz diving to keep that one alive, but can't keep it in play. And Stanford in front 2-0. These two split the season series last year. Arizona winning at home 3-0. Stanford winning here 3-0. Cardinal missing some personnel in that meeting in Tucson, including Minor and Kip. But credit the Wildcats for picking up the win. Maldonado Diaz. Good dig from Rubin. Baird. Now Hodge. Minor to Kip. And that's wide. Might see a challenge here. Kevin Handley reaching for the card. And the question will be on a touch because that ball was out of play. So Stanford will use their first challenge. Arizona has used one and lost it. Cardinal looked to be challenging if there was a touch, as what we saw on our second look of that point was that the ball did land out of play. So here's Kip on the attack. Keep an eye and see if anyone from Arizona gets a piece of this. You see where the ball lands. So up around the net is the question. This will eventually lead to Kip on the attack. Does Jalen Hodge get a piece of that? Or Elena Johnson. So it's Hodge on the left side of your screen, Johnson on the right when we're talking far left, looking around the area where Hodge hit the ball. Hard to tell so far, but the officials will take a detailed look. Give a thorough examination of that footage. Kevin Handley and company in a good spot regardless. Up 2-0 in this one. They've got Oregon State up next on Wednesday, and then the big spike against Cal, and that's it for the Stanford regular season. And with the records of those teams, Cardinal will be favored the rest of the way here. Arizona, they'll be back home to meet Colorado. Colorado also with sights on the NCAA tourney. As we look at our remaining schedule, then a great rivalry matchup there. They'll try and avenge the earlier loss to Arizona State at home. They'll go on the road to Tempe and try and close out their season in positive fashion. Now, last year, Arizona, they played in the National Invitational Volleyball Tournament, went 1-1 there. Dave Rubio feeling this season that's probably not something his team would do if offered. Thought that was important last year to get some more experience for the squad. We talked a lot about his schedule as well. We mentioned it at the top. Arizona started the year 10-1. came out so strong and then struggled on conference play. And the call stands, finishing review. But this Arizona team, they've shown their abilities. They beat a ranked Washington team, beat some good teams early in the non-conference, so just hasn't been there from a consistency standpoint. As we return to the action, Hiapo to serve after that review. So Stanford loses a challenge there. Maldonado Diaz works the long way to Hodge. Now Minor. Vicini. Herman almost crashing in to the post. And now Baird. And Baird is there as that is into the antenna. And the point to Stanford. We've seen some high energy rallies in this one. Hiapo trying to keep it alive. Back row with the left. Beautiful dig. Nope, they'll say it touched. Looks like they're going to go for the challenge, as you saw immediately Joy Gallus confident she got a hand underneath that one. Looks like she did. They ruled that down. Gallus, the junior from Truckee, California, was adamant, hopped right back up and said, no, I was definitely underneath that ball. We'll see Gallus here in the 12. This is going to be a good angle for it. Watch the left. Sure looks like she got underneath that. This is the second challenge, so if it's not overturned for Arizona, they'll be out of challenges for the time being. That's a great look by our crew. You see that cleanly, ball on hand. Great pancake there from Gallus. Limited time came into today, just 11 sets played so far, so getting the opportunity. Out of Tahoe Truckee High School. We'll take a closer look here. As it stands right now, point to Stanford 4-1, so that would bring things back 3-2. Actually, they would not necessarily credit the point because they would have to play on. They would just take that point away from Stanford. Third set action. Greg Meskel here with you from Maples Pavilion. Pac-12 play winding to a close. We're at the postseason just a couple of weeks away. And a look at tomorrow's slate. A busy Sunday. To see all the activity. Oregon taking on USC, Washington and Utah getting together. A lot of good matches. Colorado, Washington State. You have a lot of meetings of teams. When we showed you that overall RPI list, they were in the upper portion of that listing. And so these are pivotal matchups. This match was originally set for Sunday. You might have heard of a little basketball game they're having here tomorrow. South Carolina to take on the Cardinal in women's hoops. That should be an electric environment here inside Maples, and so that shuffled the schedule a bit. And so that is a successful challenge. We'll replay the last point, take that off the board for Stanford, so Dave Rubio keeps that challenge. Call was overturned. So they'll take the point away. Now 3-1. On the good hustle from Gallus. Stanford women's hoops, much like Stanford volleyball, scheduling a tough opponent here in the non-conference. This Stanford squad, they loaded their schedule on the volleyball front early on. Florida, Texas, Penn State, Minnesota, Nebraska, Louisville. Anyone they could find in the top 5, top 10, they took them on. They do it routinely. They'll go on the road. They'll play at their place. Neutral site, doesn't matter. Rubin, good layout from Hiapo to keep it going. Herman now looks to Maldonado Diaz. Now Kip blasting that past Gallus. That's on the dish from Ogilvy. And Elena Ogilvy with her last dig. Now 1,000 digs in her Stanford career. So congrats to Ogilvy, the junior. It's the 1K mark in the dig department. That's her specialty. Fellows on the move. And the point to Arizona, make it 4-2. Emery Herman serving. Herman with 15 assists, 11 digs. He's been one of the most consistent players for this Arizona team this year. That's off the scoreboard. If it's on the same side of the net, you play it. They play on. Now Kip jams that down. Kendall Kip using all of that 6'5" reach to go up and drop that down. 5-2. Kip with 13 kills. Had 21 on Thursday night. A block is there. Smith. Here's Annabelle Smith. Teaming up with Kip. Smith now 2 blocks. And Stanford's up 6-2 here in the third. Back row for Hodge. And the point. Last touch on Stanford. And now Jalen Hodge will get the chance to serve. Talk about Kip's development. Hodge has grown into a player that can be out on the court for all the rotations. Fellows here up front. Good look there, Fellows. Turning that one away. And Haven Ray is on. And now Minor to Rubin. Big block. Wildcats holding firm here at the net. That was Maldonado Diaz. So not the day that Maldonado Diaz would like from a hitting perspective. .037 right now with 6 kills. Bringing it defensively on that play. Stubba. Good dig from Baird. And now it's Baird from the back row. Hiapo keeps it alive. Maldonado Diaz is blocked. Rubin is there. Elia Rubin. Great look there. She times her jump, just waiting for that pass to come to Maldonado Diaz. It does, and Elia Rubin was ready. With her second block. Almost an ace. Hiapo puts it across. That was last touch Arizona. Annabelle Smith to make it 8-5. You see this gets Arizona out of sorts, and before everyone can get back to exactly where they want to be, Annabelle Smith comes calling. Good dig from that back row for Ray. Stubba now. Just too much heat. Buck Stubba, all Pac-12 freshman pick last year. 284 kills, hit 237. The numbers have dipped. We've got a timeout called. Stanford in front, 9-5. Wildcats will call for time. We'll return after this break here in the third. And the women's volleyball squad, number 8 in the land, leading Arizona 2-0 overall, 9-5 here in the third. Greg Meskel here with you. And the Stanford Cardinal would like to close this out in 3. On Thursday, they went up 2-0 against Arizona State. Sun Devils came out spirited in that third set. And something Kendall Kipp talked about yesterday as she prepares to serve here. So they talked about the idea of not letting up in that third set, but not sure they actually followed through on what they discussed. And they had defeated the Sun Devils in lopsided fashion in the second set. And she said it's always hard after a score like that to then come back and just maintain that same level going into the third. And they got caught up there. Arizona State took the win, and then it took a fourth set for Stanford to pick up the victory. As out of this timeout, the Wildcats now teeing off. Maldonado Diaz taking full advantage of the overpass. Smashes that down to make it 9-7. Heath serving. Minor. The redirect to perfection. Tammy Minor, another kill. She's got 5 kills. 10-7. Here's an overpass. And Minor has another kill. 6 kills now for Tammy Minor. (11-7). Maldonado Diaz keeps that alive. Stubba. Rubin puts it across. Good dig there from Ogilvie. But they can't stop Alina Johnson. Alina Johnson, 6'3", long arms, and you see that big right-handed swing. Tough to stop for the Cardinal defense. Now Minor. One touch to Smith, but too long. We saw that early on in the first where Tammy Minor can just give the one-handed dish, but this one goes a little long, make it 11-9. Minor looking for Baird, and that's a kill for Katie Baird. Stanford now hitting .307 for the match. Arizona just 160. Likewise, Cardinal side-out percentage 72%. Arizona a little more than 53%. Minor, back row, Rubin. Triple block up front, no problem. Elia Rubin works through it. Makes it 13-9 Stanford. Rubin with 12 kills. She's hitting .409. 12 digs and a couple of blocks for the all-star freshman. Johnson on the run. Tries to go down the line, just wide. And Arizona now will take a timeout, trailing 14-9 after that attack error. So we will take a timeout as well. Cardinal inching closer here to a sweep inside Maples. We're back with more after this. Third set action here from Stanford, where the Cardinal lead Arizona 14-9, and trying to wrap this one up in 3. And you never know by the score. Arizona hanging tough here as we look at the Cardinal bench. One key piece missing, center of your screen. Sammy Francis there in the long sleeve shirt. She has missed 2 stretches of time now, but when she's been on the court, so strong. 115 kills, an all Pac-12 freshman pick last year, hitting just under 400. Missed some time, came back for 7 matches, and now has not played since October 23rd against USC. Her return unknown, but Kevin Hambly talked about her being that piece that when she's out there, Stanford can compete for the championship here in women's college volleyball. Of course, they could do it without her, but it might make it a little bit simpler. Good rally here. Maldonado Diaz finds that one dug by Rubin. Now Baird. Overpass in front. The Vicini and Stubba battle. Back row Rubin. Stubba again. The block. Minor now. Here's Baird. The dig from Hiapo. Stubba gives a swing. Rubin keeps it going. Minor now. Vicini up front. Stubba tees off, and Arizona finally finishes it off. And that gets a cheer from everyone here at Maples. Buck Stubba caps off that marathon rally. We talked about just moments ago. The score is what it is. Stanford in good shape here for a potential win, but no quit from Arizona. And now Stubba serving. Minor, back row kip. Hodge, turn back. Second look. They work to Hodge. That one out of play on the block attempt by Stanford. Point to Arizona, 14-11, and an ace. An ace here for the Wildcats. Ogilvy couldn't handle it. And the ace there for Puck Stubba. Now 14 of those on the year, targeting Ogilvy again. But Katie Baird picks it up for the Cardinal. 15-12, finding that back corner. Now 8 kills for Baird. Herman. Here's Hodge. Pretty stuff from Hodge. She goes cross court and got a great pass. This is all Herman setting it up for Hodge in rhythm. And Ogilvy couldn't hang on. 15-13. Hodge now 9 kills. Herman with 21 assists. Minor the back set to Baird. Herman goes quick to Fellows. She tries to redirect. Ogilvy out of nowhere. Now Rubin. Maldonado Diaz. Minor into position. Quick set for Vicini. Hodge has to put that across. Minor again to Baird. Into the bench. And the long run. You can see the Arizona coaching staff putting up the stop sign like a third base coach. You are not going to get to this one. Slow down. But you have to admire the hustle. And we have seen, again, a variety of great rallies. Just no quit on either side. 16-13 Stanford. Hodge. Ogilvy ready for this one. Minor to Rubin. And that was a long pass across the way from Minor to try and set things up for Rubin. This would have been actually some pretty stellar accuracy if she could have gotten Rubin lined up a little bit cleaner for that one. Rubin tries to clean that up in her own right. And just off the mark. 16-14. The block on the money for Arizona. Maldonado Diaz. That's a tough duo to work against, Maldonado Diaz and Fellows. And now an ace. We're tied at 16. Arizona battling back. Herman with the ace. She had 28 assists, 7 digs last time these two got together. Minor goes to Rubin. That one is punched up by Maldonado Diaz. Excellent dig there from Gallus to keep it going. Now Kip on the swing. Here's Maldonado Diaz. That roll shot falls in. Well done. And Arizona has pulled in front 17-16 on the Maldonado kill. And Stanford will take a timeout. It's a 4-0 run for the visitors. No plans on quitting in this third set. More Pac-12 volleyball when we return. Rally by Arizona. They have pulled in front 17-16 here in the third. No quit in Dave Rubio's squad. And we talk about the rosters. Both teams brought back so much key personnel from a season ago now for Stanford that has led to 15 wins in a row and a overall ranking in the country. For Arizona, it didn't translate into taking that next step forward. You see all the talent they returned. Large parts of the starting lineup for both teams. Now, Arizona is playing better this year than last season, according to Dave Rubio, but not there as far as the postseason goes. Minor now works to Vicini, and that halts the Wildcat rally, tying this one at 17. Been a minute since Minor connected with Vicini, but right there up front. 8th kill for Vicini. Ogilvy to serve. We're even at 17 here in the third. Herman now to Fellows. Big block up front by the Cardinal. Rubin's there defensively. Saw this one developing, and good adjustment there from Elliot Rubin as well. As Fellows likes to go on the run, do a little cross-court action, and saw Elliot Rubin kind of drifting backwards to prepare for that attempt. Overpass here, not quite. Maldonado Diaz finds her attack rebuffed, but out of play. And the point to Arizona. Let's even it up again, this time at 18.
And number 5, Jalisa Caraccio, now serving.
Coming on now for Arizona, Jalisa Caraccio. So, haven't seen her just yet today, but the junior from Bakersfield is on. And now Kip. Minor falling down, but still enough to set up Kip for the kill. Minor makes sure to get that pass up for Kip, get out of the way. Puts that one down. 19-18. Let's see if Kip looks at Caraccio here, who just came on. He does exactly that. Caraccio hangs in there. Now Rubin meeting that block. Quick look to Fellows, drops in. Ziona Fellows has her 4th kill. Heath returns, the freshman from Texas. We've seen her jump serve throughout the day, sprinkled in for this Arizona attack. Some heat on that. Kip, speaking of heat, too much. Arizona slides back in front here in the third, 20-19. This is Kip. Smith, a little decoy there. And now Heath. Minor. Rubin. A rocket off Caraccio. Tie it up at 20. Elia Rubin. Pure fire. Her 13th kill. And now to serve here in this third set. Cardinal find themselves in a battle here with the Wildcats. Not fading despite down 2-0. Johnson a little off balance. Ogilvy lunging to keep it alive. Rubin a big swing. Now Stubba. Ogilvy sends Kip out of play to keep it. Hiapo laying out. Now Stubba. Ogilvy there. Here's Baird. Goes too long. No moral victories here, but all the epic rallies, by and large, they've gone to Arizona. They have found a way to pick up a point there. Stanford winning in general, but the Wildcats have shown a knack on this day to pick up the point on some of these lengthy rallies. Minor goes to Baird. In between Hiapo and Caraccio. Make it 21 all. And Velarde will serve. Herman going dump. Bevan keeps that alive. Rubin tries, denied. Here's Baird's attempt. Hiapo falling backwards, just punches that one to keep it alive. And now Minor. Quick set. Vicini. 22-21. Back set here. Right to a rolling Vicini, and she puts that down, 22-21. Herman looking for Johnson on the move. Now Minor spots Baird. Blocked. Herman. Defense has been an added element of her game this year. And what a boost to have a setter that can block like that around the net. 22 all. Pug Stubba. Kip takes something off of it, and that works from the back row. Came up, saw a big block forming, and the roll shot works well. 23-22. A nail biter here in the third. Minor trying to create some breathing room here for the Cardinal. Here's Hodge. Ogilvy does the job really to keep that alive. Herman dug out by Minor. Now Kip. puts it between everyone. And Kendall Kipp has set up match point just that fast with her 16th kill. "21 kills on Thursday night. Kipp with 16. And now Stanford, a chance to finish things off, a chance to clinch a share of that Pac-12 title. But that's long. It won't be on this moment. 24-23, still match point for the Cardinal. Diapo to serve. Here's Minor. Outside, Kipp. That's all. Kendall Kipp finishes it off. And Stanford claims a share of their 20th Pac-12 title. They win their 16th straight match and improve to 22-4 on the year, 17-1 in Pac-12 play. Arizona drops to 15-14, 5-13 in Pac-12 play. And for Stanford, the usual suspects. Kendall Kipp, 17 kills, including the winner, 7 digs. Elia Rubin, 13 kills, 15 digs. Cami Minor gets everyone involved. 44 assists, 13 digs, 6 kills. And here's how it ended. Minor to Kipp. A familiar scene here at Stanford. These two stars connecting to finish off the Wildcats. And Stanford takes a share of the Pac-12 title. They'll have 2 more chances to take the overall crown, but that's all for us here in this one. For our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, Greg Meskel saying thanks for joining us, where Stanford makes it a clean sweep over Arizona, 3-0.